What is up, gamers? Welcome to Keep On Gaming. The goal of the podcast is to help 100,000 gamers with their dream, self-teach, go to school. It honestly doesn't matter. The goal is to figure out what you want to do and help you get there, whether it's programming, 3D art, web development, animation. It doesn't matter. Like I said, let's get straight on into episode 1. All right, so if you're watching the podcast is available on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. It's on YouTube video version, youtube.com/CTG coding. The CTG stands for Chris That Gamer. Literally just type in CTG coding on YouTube search bar. You'll find the channel. And let's get straight on into today's episode. As you can see from the title, the best video game of all time. I want to create a database that will display a formula. Now, obviously, I have absolutely no idea how to do this. This is something that I'm going to have to learn how to do, but I want to create something that will answer the question, what is the best video game of all time? The point is, sometimes, spoiler alert, on the podcast, we're going to have guests. And when we have guests, I'm going to ask them the question of what is the best video game of all time in their opinion. And they have to pick one game. I'm going to take those answers, put them in a database, and then try to have that database spit out an answer of what is the best video game of all time based on the categories and the things that I give it. Obviously, as time goes on, I'll have to explain to you gamers how I will make this database, how stuff like that happens, because I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out as I go along, and I'm starting to figure out that is how programming is from a lot of other people that are more advanced than I am in programming. They tell me that they didn't understand some things in programming, and then they finally figured it out. So we're all actively learning, and that's just something that you have to understand. What's gonna be dope about this database is that I want to take some of you gamers' answers. So all you have to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, CTG Coding, again on YouTube. Put down in the comment section on this video what your favorite video game of all time is, and I will add you to the database. Again, I have to figure out how to create this, but I'll keep you guys updated throughout the months, weeks, and honestly years. I don't even know how long something like this could take me to create. I do want to make it to where it's a little complex, where maybe it takes into consideration when a game came out, how many viewers it has on Twitch, what popularity we're talking about. Like, does it have a lot of sales as far as how many sales the game got? There's a lot of, we get pretty nerdy with that as far as trying to figure out what the best video game of all time is. If you had to ask what my answer is, I know most of you gamers probably want to know, I would have to say Halo 3. Now, when I was thinking of this, I feel like this answer is tied between Halo 3 and Modern Warfare 2, but like when you have both of those and I have to choose between, if I had to pick one and it's like Halo, Modern Warfare 2, Halo always has to win. Like Halo has to win, even though after that, after Modern Warfare 2, I then go on to play Call of Duty for 13 years. Like I cannot even believe that. Is insane. But Halo 3 hands down has it. Forge, competitive, like you get a lobby with level 49, you knew exactly what you was getting into. Like literally Halo had it, and then like, you know, Call of Duty, but Halo 3 had it. That was the peak. Halo 3 had it. That's gonna be the point of the pod. We want to, every time we have guests on the show, we want to ask them this question, and I think it can get pretty interesting because a lot of people have some things to say when it comes to what their favorite video game of all time is. Now, also, you probably will be seeing the box over on the other side of us. It's pretty much a huge box. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of time lapse of code, montage of code, and it's pretty much just gonna be showing me failing at programming, me failing at game development. I want to showcase the journey. That's really the whole purpose. You guys seen it in the intro. I want to help 100K of you gamers, of you nerds, and it's really just like when I was trying to figure this out. Side note, I still absolutely have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I didn't know how to start. I didn't know where I was going. And this is something that I wish that was there for like when I was trying to start. Keep On Gaming. The Keep On Gaming podcast is for you gamers, for you guys that don't understand. How do you start? How do you start in animation, programming, development, whatever it is? I got you gamers, and we're going through a journey. This is what it is. I'm showcasing the journey right over there on the box. That is if you are watching the video version. If you're watching the video version, I have like a little box off to the side, and it just shows all of the code that I have done in the last couple months. We have been grinding. Now let's get into the 10 commandments in programming. Now, this is no disrespect to anybody that is religious. For my audio listeners, I just showed a Bible for anyone that was wondering. No disrespect. This is something that I'm trying to like do for myself. This is something that I need to make sure that I do all the time. That's why I made these 10 commandments in programming. I also try to remember this a lot in game development. This is very useful in game development. So the first commandment, non-0 days or no 0 days. And it's explained like this, we are human, but you have to understand, like, you're gonna have some days where you're just not on it, where you don't do the thing that you're supposed to be doing, where you don't work on Blender, you don't work on game development, you didn't program. The reason why we have the no 0 days, you keep yourself aware. You're self-aware, you have that self-talk, you tell yourself like, man, it's been 4 days, I didn't work on the thing I was supposed to work on, I need to go put in some work. Like, that is what it's about. That's what the no 0 days is about. Keeping yourself like disciplined, aware. Make sure that you understand that you have work to put in. If you just took 4 or 5 days off, you have to make sure you have those conversations with yourself. The next commandment, commandment 2, KISS framework. KISS framework is keep it simple, stupid. I shouldn't have to explain this, but all I'll say, in like your game development, in your programming, in the mechanics you create, try to make them simple. That's what it starts off of. You don't need to go to 100, have this thing be as complex as you can think of. You're never gonna finish something. Start with it as simple as you can. Just get the simple core mechanics built and done, and then move on from that. That's what commandment 2 is about. KISS framework, and it could honestly be used in probably so many other different aspects of your life, but if you just want to use it in programming, keep it simple, stupid. Commandment 3, learn by doing. A well-defined task with an appropriate difficulty level for that individual. Informative feedback and opportunities for repetition and correction of errors. I don't think you guys listened to what I just said. I'm going to repeat that last sentence. Informative feedback and opportunities for repetition and correction of errors. This is literally side projects. Do your side projects. Have side projects. A lot of people say that they don't want side projects in programming. That's why you're not improving. That's why you don't see good things happening to your code base, to your art, to the games that you make. Practice, people. Practice side projects. That literally is the 90% of the work. You learn the most by doing, and by doing is literally creating a side project. Commandment 4, burnout is real. Remember to have fun and rest. Now, I know I just said side projects. You have to think to yourself, we are learning complex technology. You can't just always 24/7 be on it. Like, have structure, have a schedule. Like, okay, it's 10 p.m. I'm done programming. I'm done, thinking about, data analytics and like SQL and R and all these, like, just at a certain point, have a schedule. Understand that, man, if I keep doing this, I can burn out. The main reason why I just said, fudge it, I'm gonna do some of these things that you do for fun. Make videos because it's fun. Program because it's fun. Like, try to not just get burnt out. Burnt out is real, and you do have to remember sometimes a break is okay. Walking away from it is okay. Picking up something new is okay. Commandment 5, school. To go, to not go, boot camp, certifications. What do you do? Now, I am also someone that goes to school. I'm majoring in information science, but I feel like the best summary of how school is just like, you have to look within. Look within your current life, your goals, your responsibilities. Can you do it right now? Can or can you not? Is going to school going to work for you? Is getting a certification, going to boot camp, can you even afford the $10,000 that some boot camps cost? If you can't, well, then you have to reflect more and figure out which route is good for you, because you have to understand this is the most important thing for commandment 5. Computer science education cannot make anybody an expert programmer any more than studying brushes and pigment can make somebody an expert painter. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, it is hard out here trying to get a job right now with no degree, no certification, no boot camp, no experience. Understand the difference. I said it's hard. I didn't say it's not impossible, but when you add in a degree, or you have a certification, or you went to a boot camp, it makes it easier. It makes it so easier. So when you do go through this commandment 5, it's all about looking within your life, your responsibilities, your current now, and saying, maybe I can't go to school because I can't afford it, or I'm an individual that doesn't like going to school. I need things like now fast. Maybe a boot camp's right. Maybe I have the money for that, or maybe I don't have the money for none of this and I need to self-learn. Okay, well, now I need to do the research to figure out what self-learning, like, what does that intake? That's what step 5 is about, commandment 5. It's literally about looking within, figuring out like, okay, I want to take this step. I want to do this. How do I do it? Where do I go? That's what that one's about. Commandment 6, programming is a field of lifetime learning. We don't know the future as programmers. If you are a programmer, if you're just a regular writer, tech person, sound designer in game development, a lot of things change. Like, it's always changing. Tech is always changing. So you may have to relearn some things. When you start a new job at a new tech company, they may do things differently as far as like the code base that they work with, the tech stack that they work with. So you may have to learn new things. This happened to me when I started my internship. I had to learn new tech languages, and a whole new IDE and just like certain little things. And if you're not used to learning new things, this can bite you in the butt. So if you're not ready for it, you need to understand that programming and a lot of other fields that are now adopting a lot of technology is lifetime learning. You're always going to learn as things advance, as new frameworks comes out, as new game engines come out, new programming languages come out. I'm not saying that it's going to take the languages that you use and they're going to go away, but as new things come out, you need to kind of be a little bit understanding of what it is. You can't just be ignorant to everything. You're a tech guy, you're a programmer, game dev, sound designer. You got to understand some of the things that come out in your field. That's what Commandment 6 is. Lifetime learning, people. Always learning, people. Commandment 7, fail first. We see the product or the programmer's code after, and that it makes a lot of people's perception warped, because you think, man, like these people really don't ever have issues, they don't ever have problems. Well, newsflash, we don't get to see all of the planning, all of the debugging, the problems, the blood, sweat, and tears. We see after that. We see the product after it's done. We don't see the planning, the debugging, the man, I'm scratching my head, like I don't know why this isn't working. We don't see that. We see the product when it's done, when the programmer, when the team of people are like, all right, well, we went through all our bugs, we went through everything, it's been 9 months, 10 months, 2 years of development. This thing, this app, this game, it's ready to come out. You guys get to see it afterwards, after it drops. So failing first is the most important thing, because you realize, okay, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. I used to think that this was an issue, but that is the most important thing in programming. Doing your projects, like I said in the other commandment, commandment 3, do your side projects, and commandment motherfudging 7, fail. If you're not failing because you're afraid of failing, you're doing it wrong. You're absolutely doing it wrong. Commandment 8, find a community of programmers. I think this should be related to your niche, but still super important. I still think whether or not, like, if you're a data analyst and you have friends that are just nothing but game devs, like, that's still important, because you still have people that are technical, people that are nerds, they still kind of program. Just find people that speak your nerd language. That's what it's about. Finding a community of people that speak your nerd language, because now it makes you not feel like you're so alone. Like, you got people with you that do the same things, they speak your language. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's what 8 is about. Commandment 8 is about finding those people, so when you do feel like quitting, they're like, nah, man, like, the stuff you do is dope. Like, and they can understand the problems that you go through when you bring up a bug. So many times where I brought up bugs to my nerd friends and they've helped me get through it, because they know how to talk you through it. But then when I bring it to a family member, they have no idea what I'm saying. You're speaking to someone that has no idea your language, people. Commandment 9, planning out the software. This is everything. This is anything you can think of when it comes to planning. And I finally figured it out. We all are different, you know? So like the way how you plan, the way how I plan and code is different. And this could just be in anything and everything, man. Plan out how you write your video script, plan how you're going to do your schedule this week. Just plan things out and it will make it better. Plan out your software. It helps you write clean your code. This improves your code base. Like, you can actually start to have a code base you can take from and reuse. That's the important stuff. That's the valuable stuff, to have a reusable code base. You can literally just plan everything out that you need by just commenting in your IDE. You don't have to do all these GDDs, these game design documents. There's a reason why AAA studios use them, but not everyone needs them. Now, if you're creating a Red Dead, a GTA 5, a Halo 3, a Skyrim, like, okay, some of these had GDDs that were like 100 page longs. I think they said the Red Dead was like 1,000. One of them was 1,000 pages. Cannot even want to think about being those designers having to read 1,000 page or 100 page GDD document. Can you imagine that? Plan it out, plan out the software, and make sure the plan is simple. That's what it's about. It's not about having something that's just 2,000 pages, 150 pages long. Remember, people have to read this, and your people don't want to read that. They don't want to read that. Trust me, because I don't want to read that. Commandment 10, don't rush. Most programmers will let you in on the secret if they like you, if they understand that, okay, maybe this guy's actually kind of understanding it. And it's pretty much that everyone's still learning. Like, everyone is still learning. Even if they've been in the field 15 plus years, 20 plus years, 30 plus years, they are learning. The best thing I can tell you is literally just start today. Pick up whatever it is. Pick up the language, the game engine, whatever it is, and just start today. Find a box, a niche, a field in programming, get into it, dive into it, enjoy it, and just don't rush. Don't rush. Jump into it and just have fun. Literally, have fun and do not rush. And that's gonna be it with the 10 commandments in programming by your boy CTG. Again, no disrespect to the Bible. We mess with the Bible over here. It's just, you gotta remember, man, sometimes you need these things to look at and be like, okay, I need this so I can keep myself a little bit more aware. Have some self-awareness. Are you putting in the work to the things that like you have in the back of your head? This game dev, this programming stuff has always been in the back of my head. Just haven't been working on it. Don't know why. The last segment we got is ending the chapter with Call of Duty. It's kind of bittersweet, but it's something that's definitely needed to happen for a long time. So I'm reflecting from 2 podcasts. So pretty much Nadeshot and OpTic HECZ, they went on stream, and then someone clipped the stream and made it into like this hour-long podcast like thing. And pretty much we're going to reflect to that, and we're also going to reflect to the OpTic Podcast episode 55. Pretty much if you watch both of these, you watch the Nadeshot and OpTic HECZ talk, and then you watch the Is Halo the Actual COD Killer OpTic Podcast episode 55, you would understand that HECZ kind of said some of the same things in both pods. It's a little similar. So I wanted to reflect to it and talk about how I felt about Call of Duty. Is it the death of Call of Duty? Do I think Call of Duty is done? Because I've been playing since Modern Warfare 2. That's 13 years of Call of Duty. And I was posting videos since Black Ops 2. So that's almost a decade of just literally a decade of me grinding competitive videos, grinding. And I think through that decade, I got around 1,000 videos. That is insane. That's actually insane. So 1,000 videos, grinding. How do I feel about Call of Duty? Because I don't think I'm buying the next one. Even though I don't think Vanguard is as bad as people makes it to be, I just think they can't make good maps no more. And obviously, if your maps aren't good, the game is just overall gonna leave a bad taste in people's mouth. People are gonna think the game sucks because your maps suck. That is just that simple. So yeah, and there's a lot of things where it's just like, I can't believe that they let this game came out and there were this many problems, but we'll get rid of that. We're talking about the summary. How do I feel about Call of Duty after watching both of these podcasts, and just after how Vanguard dropped and how the game has been, how competitively everything has been? I feel like maybe one day they will get it. Maybe one day Activision, the devs, whoever it is, one day maybe they'll get it. And in the future, if it's 5, 10, whatever it is, however many years it is, they'll drop a game and they'll get it. It'll finally be catered towards the public players, the campaign guys, the comp guys, the zombie guys. You get the point, right? Like, they'll finally get it. And this is one day. Maybe one day they'll get it. But I think the problem lines in with that they just don't care. They literally just do not care. Black Ops 4 back in 2018 with Blackout was a test. They literally tested Blackout and then dropped Warzone. Warzone was the successor of Blackout. And if you ask a lot of people, they say Blackout was kind of a little bit better than Warzone. It was more fast paced. It was a little bit more vibrant. The colors back in Black Ops 4. Honestly, Blackout was a little bit better. Warzone was its successor because they innovated. They innovated on this Blackout idea. They tested. They knew, like, okay, we're gonna drop this battle royale. Battle royale is hot right now. Let's make people pay for it. Let's look at the data. And they realized if we drop free to play battle royale, which they then called Warzone, it would blow up. And what did it do? It blew up, changed Call of Duty, and now the base game is revolved around Warzone. Literally revolved around Warzone. So to end on the Call of Duty note, I want to end with something that HECZ said, because I feel like it is everything and it says it perfectly. So in the eyes of the devs, maybe this is just an Activision again, but competitive players are an afterthought. Like, that is literally it. And that sucks. That sucks because I feel like when they had some of their lowest games public wise, like Ghost, Infinite Warfare, people weren't really messing with pubs back then. And I feel like if it wasn't for the competitive players, they wouldn't have had such a good fan base or such a good sales if it wasn't for those comp players still buying a game every single year, because that's what the comp scene has COD players do. Ultimately, I think that this kills Call of Duty. Like, I feel like this killed Call of Duty. Warzone ultimately killed all of the other modes, it being the successor of Blackout. And I know most people are probably going to say, well, how do I feel with Microsoft buying Activision? I hope that this changes things with Microsoft buying Activision, but I don't think it will. We know from them buying it that it's still going to come out on Sony. And two, that now they're obviously starting to think about stopping a Call of Duty yearly release. I've been said that COD needs to kill the yearly release and they need to go to a base standalone game like COD Mobile. It makes no sense that COD Mobile comes out and then it drops all the maps that, you know, fan favorite maps. They're playing on like Solar, Meltdown, like literally fan favorite bangers, High Rise, all this stuff. And they throw in all the guns that you've seen throughout Call of Duty's history, running around with ACRs, UMPs. Like, why have they not done this? Like, why have they not done this? And until they figure it out, man, I really feel like Call of Duty is going to continue to get made fun of and get laughed at, especially the competitive scene, because it's as if they just don't care. It's literally as if they just don't care. It makes me mad because I feel like what Call of Duty had with search and destroy, game battles, and competitive, they had something. They really had something. And when someone comes along and iterates off of that search and destroy competitive mode and try to figure out what they can do within iterate, I think Call of Duty might have their hands full. But until someone does that, Call of Duty will always be Call of Duty. But we're seeing with Halo and all these other games coming out, other games are starting to throw punches, man. So that's all I'll say, and we will end this podcast with a gem. Like I said, I always want to end my videos or the podcast with a gem. A gem is just something important that I think you gamers, you nerds should remember. The video that I'm referring to is why you shouldn't be an artist. I will leave a link to the video down below in the description. It goes like this. One day I hope to ignore my insecurities, set aside my doubts of fine art, have the backbone to push through all of the reasons why not. But most of all, one day I'd like to be as carefree as a child painting with delight. I'm gonna leave a link to the full video titled Why You Shouldn't Be an Artist down below. I guess the summary is that you shouldn't follow your dreams, because that's what I was telling myself for so long and I don't know why. So I just started, and today I'm telling you to do the same. Just start. Don't give yourself no reasons, just start. And that's gonna be it, gamers. I'll see you all on the next episode of the podcast. Remember to keep leveling up, and I'll see you gamers next time. Deuces.